All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join us here today. It is Friday. If you're here live, it is Friday, May 27th, 2022. Wow. This year's flying by rather quickly. If you're not here live and watching on the replay, do not worry. You didn't miss anything. This is evergreen content. Stick around, view the show, and please share your feedback and your comments in the comments section below if you're here on the replay. Now, some people may be asking, well, I share my feedback, Eli, and you delete my comments or you ban me. Well, we're looking for respectful, mature, and professional comments. We're looking to have a discussion here, not a debate. We are looking to discuss things without people projecting their insecurities onto us. So if your comments are getting deleted, whether you're here live or you comment on the replay, it is because you're basically just projecting and attacking. And we don't allow that here in Coach Eli's neck of the woods. Did I say that right? In Coach Eli's neck of the woods? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired today, folks, because there's been a lot going on lately. Before I bring on my lady, who is hanging out backstage on StreamYard, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it absolutely has. And let me also make sure that the back end of YouTube is rolling well. My lady was very first in the chat, was the very first person in the chat, which is what I'm trying to say. And she said, let's do this. And now NC is Queen is here and says, Eli with the two pink hearts. Great to see you here. NC is Queen. Give me a second, folks. I need to clear my throat. Wow, today is just one of those days. Depending on the weather, I have to tell you, depending on the weather, it affects my allergies in different ways. And I have kind of like a dry throat today. I've had plenty of liquid, but depending on the weather, I'm sure those of you that have allergies understand the weather plays a huge role in your allergies affecting you more so than other days. So bear with me. It's one of those days today. But we will definitely make it through the show. Today's show is, the topic is, my lady and I talk about exhaustion / emotional drain and how to prevent it. One more time. My lady and I talk about exhaustion / emotional drain and how to prevent it. This is a topic that I've discussed several times on my other channel, my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. I've discussed this through some walking streams, but I felt the need, and my lady and I felt the need to do a full-blown show on this and talk, about this in more detail, which is what I'm trying to say, because this is something that truly affects people from moving forward. It holds people back. It slows people down. It wears people down quicker than anything. And if you can learn to understand how to prevent this, how to prevent exhaustion and emotional drain, it'll make the single biggest difference in your life. But it's easier said than done. So, with that being said, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on my beautiful, wonderful, incredibly talented, and incredibly intelligent lady to the show. Let's go ahead and do it. Please welcome my lady to the show, babe. Welcome back to the show. Big, huge round of applause.
Well, thank you, and thank you for all those kind words. That was so nice.
You're quite welcome, baby. You're quite welcome. I have to say, the weather today is affecting my my allergies. It's, I've got this dry throat, and I've been drinking plenty of liquid. But let me ask you this before we get started here today. Because you've been a nurse in the past. Did you ever deal with allergies or help people with allergies? And in your opinion, how much, or in your professional opinion, how much does the weather affect your allergies?
Oh, yeah, I deal with allergies on my own. I suffer from chronic sinus infections. My ex-husband had horrible hay fever. So yeah, I've dealt with allergies not only in professional but personal life. And yes, it's all the weather. It's absolutely has to change with hot and cold, the wind. You've been around a lot of wind, which is blowing around a lot of pollen right now. The trees are blooming. And so all that pollen is being spread around. So while you're out walking, that's what's happening, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. And, we're getting closer and closer to summer. It's getting warmer. And, with the heat and the wind and more pollen a brewing, let's call it that. Yeah, it's going to affect you. I did take my Flonase right before this show, so hopefully it'll start to kick in, and I will survive this. At first I was afraid. I was
I'm
petrified.
petrified.
Oh yeah. Let's not do that. We don't want to do that here today, babe. But let's just get right to it today. Let's just dive right into it because we're only going to be on for about an hour and a half. We do have a lot of things to do today, and you and I are going to be spending the weekend together, and we have some plans to get out of town and all of that. Plus, I will be doing a Walking with Purpose stream a couple hours after this show ends, episode number 301. By the way, folks, if you missed my Walking with Purpose stream yesterday on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, check it out. It was the very special 300th episode. We had a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of interesting topics, and I was at a different location of the San Francisco Bay Trail. So check that out on my main channel. Nightbot is sharing the link to my main channel in the chat every 7 minutes. YouTube.com/Life Coach Eli. Go over there, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, so that way you won't miss anything on that end. But babe, before we dive into it, what were your thoughts about that 300th special episode yesterday? 300 episodes of
Oh,
doing walking live streams, about 1,000 miles of walking live on the air over the last 2.5 to 3 years.
I thought it was a great show. That everything you were pinpointing on was appropriate, just kind of a recap of the year. I thought all that was great. And yeah, I was really proud of you. Really super proud of you, love.
Well, thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So let's just dive right into this. We're going to take a break at about the 45-minute mark. And then we're going to come back for another 30, 35 minutes or so. So folks, please get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat as soon as possible, so we are sure to address it before the show is over. One more thing here. One more thing here. That's interesting. GLM is in the house. GGGGGLM. Yes, we're still working on getting your main channel unbanned, GLM. But yeah, let's get right to it, baby. Today we're going to be discussing exhaustion/emotional drain and how to prevent it. And I felt that my lady and I both together could bring you folks some tremendous value regarding this, because her and I, have experienced a lot of exhaustion and emotional drain in many different aspects of our life. Let me just lead into this, baby, and then maybe you can share some of the things that have exhausted you and emotionally drained you to the point of where, last week you got to take a couple days, away from YouTube and just rest all day because you were just so tired. You know, and before I get to it, I just want to say that the example purposes that we use here today don't necessarily reflect our views on any specific people. We are here to discuss things in general. I know some people out on YouTube, misperceive things. We are just here to share, how this has affected us, so you folks can learn from it and prevent it from affecting you. Right, baby? Does that make sense before I, go further here?
Absolutely. Yes. No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're going to be discussing, the emotional drain and exhaustion that affected my lady and I, in our relationship, heading back towards the beginning of it for the first, 4 or 5, maybe 6 months, it was draining. On top of that, my lady's been dealing with, her family and her daughter and her mother and all that, furthering the exhaustion and emotional drain. And then, dealing with the court of public opinion, let's just call it that, the court of public opinion on YouTube, furthering that emotional drain. And I'll lead in with this, babe. This is just my opinion, with no disrespect to women. Both men and women have emotions. We all have emotions, but women respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And normal, strong men, non-beta men, typically will respond to everything first based on processing things logically, and then we may shed some emotion. Now, we have some very feminized men nowadays in the modern world that act like women, and which is why they're responding to everything first emotionally. It is not a part of a man's normal, natural essence to respond to things emotionally first, but because of the way things are nowadays, that's the way it goes. And I honestly feel, babe, that women have a lot more tolerance for emotional drain than men do, because you ladies reacting emotionally to things first is part of your normal biological essence. But even with that said, there's even a breaking point where, too much emotional drain will completely exhaust women. Does that make sense to you, babe?
Yes.
Share your thoughts about that before we continue. Yeah.
Well, a lot, I feel for myself, this is just me speaking, is that my personality is to listen, care, and put other people first before me. And so while doing that, I might be listening to my family, listening to YouTube, listening to work drama and dealing with all of that. And I'm just trying to fix everything and make everybody happy and not taking care of myself, that at one point I just literally crash and burn and just need a day and a half to myself, because I've given everything I've had to everybody else.
Right.
And I believe that's what women tend to do, especially mothers. Any woman that's had a child, that is something you go through. You want to make your child happy. You want to fix everything, every scraped knee, every hiccup in the road, every bully that attacks them at school, just everything, every broken heart they go through. Us women, I think we take all of that on when we listen to other people, and that's where it becomes emotionally draining.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you say it is safe to say that if a woman becomes so emotionally drained that to the point of where it creates exhaustion, do you feel that it's taken her to the point of overload kind of like, men really don't like any emotional drain. The moment that we, encounter an emotionally draining situation, we try to remove ourselves from it as quickly as possible because we know how much energy it'll suck out of us and practically almost ruin the rest of our day, right? And again, or I've said this before, I'll say it again, which is what I'm trying to say. Emotion is energy in motion. That's what emotion stands for, right? And
Yes.
all of us exude energy each and every day, and our bodies, have a limit to the amount of energy we can exude at a normal level every day. And when you get to an emotionally draining situation, that, in my opinion, takes out 10 times more energy while you're dealing with that than the normal amount of energy when you're discussing other things. And so it wears you down much more quickly. And if you have an emotionally draining situation to deal with at the beginning of your day, even if you've had 8 hours of sleep and you feel well rested, if you have that situation even first thing in the morning, where you encounter someone on the phone or in person or wherever that emotionally drains you at that level, you end up feeling more tired than you did before you went to bed the night before. Does that make sense, baby? That these
Oh
emotionally
yeah.
draining situations will drain you 10
Oh,
times quicker.
absolutely.
Right. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I would know when I go into work and I would get a full night's rest, feel great. But if there was anything that was out of the ordinary that I had to like do on the fly that caused stress, that
Mm-hmm.
caused me to be a little bit emotionally drained. Even to the point of somebody calling in sick. I feel compassion for them. But I also feel compassion for everybody else on staff that I know they're all worn out also. So I don't want to call anybody. And I just, I worry about that and I'm like, I could just take it all on my own. We'll figure it out. And then that's what drains me is I emotionally don't want to drain anybody else. And so I take it all on myself. And yes, in the beginning of the day, if I get a phone call from my mom, you, my job, my bank, anything like that that might possibly cause a concern, yes, that immediately drains a lot of energy out of me.
Oh, yeah. And what happens in those situations? You try to reach me. You bring my phone off the hook. You text me until I pick up or, until I respond. And I can tell you're having one of those emotionally draining moments. And I'm like, okay, I know her pattern. I'm not going to overreact. I'm going to pick up the phone the next time she calls, and we're going to have a cool, calm, and collective conversation. And I'm going to, you know, squash this because here's the thing. This is the thing that ladies need to understand about men. And I think a lot of ladies understand this. But I don't think anyone's really ever discussed this out here on YouTube as clearly as we are discussing it today. Ladies need to understand. Hang on a second. Ladies need to understand that men are going to try to avoid these emotionally draining situations. And in the past, babe, when you've brought upon these emotionally draining situations, especially at the beginning of my workday, right? I've always reacted in a cool, calm, and collective way. Or even if we're in person and something happens, you get a text from your mother or your daughter or somebody, and it just emotionally overloads you, right? Have you noticed I'm always cool, calm, and collective, right? And you've wondered, how the hell can I be so cool, calm, and collected when most other guys that you've been with, would react to it, right? Right? You were wondering that initially, right?
Yes.
And before I turn it back to you, I think now you further understand, and I want to try to get as many ladies to understand this when you're dealing with your men. I think you now understand that, it's us men remain calm because number one, that diffuses the situation quicker. And number two, we are not going to let that situation, even if it's coming from our lady, suck out all of our energy and emotionally drain us. So that way it affects, the rest of our day in a negative way. Does that make sense to you? And that's why
Yeah.
you understanding that, as intuitive as you are, you try to prevent putting those situations on me because you know how much it sucks out of me and it will take away from whatever I'm trying to accomplish the rest of that day, whether it involves my business or it involves you or other friends or family, right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. And that's why I think I've gotten a lot better with the strength that you've given me. Because in the beginning, I felt weak and I needed to call you for that strength. But since we've been dating and since, we've been talking and becoming more emotionally connected and I feel more secure, I know I don't need, like, if something happens, I don't need to call you right away. I can look at what your schedule is. I can text you and say, "Hey, what are you doing today? When is your walk?" And then do we have time to chat in between quickly? And that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not pressuring it. I'm just leaving it basically in your court saying, "Hey, I respect you. I love you, but I still would like to talk to you at some point today." No pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Babe, do you mind if I read some comments here? GGGGLM has some great comments that I'd like to address at this point, if that
Alrighty, yes,
works for
me
you.
too.
So we're just going to refer to her as GLM. It's easier. Hey, hi, Eli and ma'am, babe. Yeah, hello. Welcome to the show. Say hello to GLM, babe.
Hi, GLM. Welcome.
And let's just scroll down and read what she said. Um, Honestly, I am emotionally void at work. I am more effective and efficient, not carrying any of that weight with me. And let me just share my thoughts real quick on that, and we'll then get my lady's thoughts. Yeah, you see, GLM, I think you're a pretty well balanced, modern day woman. Yes, I understand you like to have a little fun and lightly troll on YouTube, and you're actually a real life person, right? You more so share your opinions, but I think you're one of those modern women in her late 30s. And no, you're not in your late 20s, and there's nothing wrong with you being in your late 30s, GLM. It's all good. I'm 29. I'm 25. I know we've encountered that road before. We like to laugh about that, babe. Women don't ever want to get past the age of 30. That's the thing.
Oh,
But anyway,
well, I think I want to disagree. I don't want to say all women because you know what? I was very proud to be 30 and I welcomed 40 and I have no problem being 47 and I say it all the time. I'm not embarrassed by my age. I'm proud of
yeah,
it. And all women should.
right, right. And I think that GLM has a balance when she goes to work. I mean, look, any way that ladies look at this, working in most fields requires women to exude more masculine energy than feminine energy, unless you're doing a job like you used to do, babe, like a nurse. That's more feminine energy, right? Or maybe caretaking and stuff like that. But pretty much most other jobs, executive jobs, jobs where you're doing heavy lifting, stocking, that's always been considered men's work. Not saying that women are not capable of doing it, but when women do work like that, they are exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy. Okay, nothing wrong with that as long as you can go to work and, you do your job, but then when you come home to your man or your family or your child or whatever, or your children, that you turn it off and you go back to your normal and natural biological essence of being a woman. And furthermore, GLM says, I also found that it is better to not talk about work with people away from work. Leave work at work. I can bring work stress home. When I'm off, I don't even think about work. Amen. I'm going to give GLM a big round of applause for that one. Yeah. Yeah, babe. What are your thoughts about that? Leave work at work. When you come home, turn it off like a switch and be yourself.
Well, yes, I totally agree. Um, I actually feel that that's how I feel when I walk into work is I turn everything else off and I'm just at work. And when I go home, that's what should happen. But let's be honest, what happens when you go home to your partner, your spouse, your kids? You ask, how was your day today? Well, what are you going to say? Because you were at work all day. So you talk about your work day. And so it's kind of hard to separate that. So, I mean, I get what she's saying, but like, if I were to get off of work, in the evening and call you, you'd be like, how was work tonight, babe? And then I
You
would
know
just
why?
go into it.
You know why I would ask you that, babe? Because I know if you had a shitty day at work, I had to prepare myself for the emotionally draining conversation. I'm sorry, babe.
Well, exactly.
Go ahead.
And I can say, ditto on that because there were times when things were going on with you that I would worry about. And when you talked to me, it was very emotionally draining to hear what was going on and things that were being said about you and all of that. And I couldn't understand it. And it didn't just come from the YouTube world. Now it's coming also from my world. So it really, really drained the energy out of me. I couldn't wonder why everybody.
It comes from all directions, is what you're saying. At work, on the internet, through family. Like, you can get hit with emotionally draining situations in multiple directions, and when they come at you all at once, that's like, oh boy, it's time to get away. Want to get away, like those old Southwest those old Southwest Airlines commercials, baby. Want to get away? That's how you feel in those situations, right?
Yeah. I actually want to go totally old school and show my age and say, Calgon, take me away.
Calgon, take me away. Oh my God. I'm sure you could probably find the old Calgon, commercials on YouTube. That was like either it was bath soap or it was like a bubble bath. It was actually bath soap that wasn't the woman in that commercial in the bath and lathering herself in the bath, right?
Yep.
With Calgon.
That was probably, that was really risque for that era.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nowadays that's nothing, man. Nowadays, as long as you put a pasty on your nipple, it's all good. I'm sure if that Super Bowl incident years ago with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, gonna have you naked at the end of this song, by the end of this song, right? And then, he, rips the thing up and the pasties there, right? And it was a wardrobe malfunction, huh, baby? Oh, we had a wardrobe malfunction. We just happened to have a pasty there to cover up the nipple, right?
Yeah.
I have to say, mad respect to Timberlake and Janet Jackson when that happened. I mean, I honestly think it wasn't that big of a deal. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty cool, and that right there actually, got the NFL to impose like a 1 minute delay, kind of like we have a delay here. that's what imposed that delay to prevent those things from going out.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Hey, babe, can we address some of the chats from GLM right now?
Yeah, let me read them because what you're seeing on your screen is, on the delay. So let me read that. And Wow, Eli said I'm a well-balanced modern-day woman. Thank you, sir. No, I wholeheartedly believe that, GLM, no trolling. I think, you're light trolling or sharing your opinions on YouTube. You show your face on YouTube and you show yourself on YouTube and people actually know who you are. So I don't consider you really a troll. I consider you someone that has an opinion and you want to share your opinions. And, that's not a problem. So, I think even, people that are the best can do stupid things at times. You and I have both done stupid things at times on and off of YouTube. And I'm sure my lady's done stupid things too. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean we're not well-balanced people. Furthermore, she says, also to everyone watching, Eli is inaccurate. I'm 29. Yeah, we're not going to play that game anymore. She's forever 29, or let's just say forever 21, like the mall store, right, baby? Forever 21. Are you there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
There you
I'm
are.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wasn't responding.
Okay. All right. I guess you have nothing to add to that. California Ford Outdoors in the house. Welcome, CFO. Grade A topic of the day. Thank you very much for saying that and for being here. I'm taking a bow. And GLM says, furthermore, my job is 87% female. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. Awesome. GLM says, when I am asked how my day was, I say good, long, and the other one-word answers. Okay. Okay, that's pretty funny. Furthermore, actually, California Port Outdoors says, times have changed. Women are the new breadwinners. Men are stay-at-home Mr. Moms. Well, in 30% of the households, women are the breadwinners. And that's pretty staggering that women have risen up at that level in just 55 years. And I'll tell you, it is going to continue, moving up. And eventually there are going to be more female breadwinners than male breadwinners if these men in the modern world don't shape up. I mean, I'm saying that, and it's not that even men rule the world. I guess, I guess that's how it was perceived before women's lived. But, if we're going to still consider that men still rule the world, guys, I hate to say this, women are going to rule the world over the next 10 to 20 years if you guys don't shape up. And it's not even about men or women ruling the world. It's about us as a team ruling the world together nowadays. And that's how it should have always been.
Amen, baby. Amen.
Right? Right? We men and women work best together as a team, even in the modern world. Let's continue, baby, because I know we've got a lot to talk about and we have limited time.
Yeah.
And we're at 32.
Yeah.
We're at 32 minutes. So let me continue through the chat, and you can respond when necessary. Let's see. There's my girl. Hey, California sister, says GGGGGLM. The CFO says GLM. I'll dump positive on you. GLM, my sister. Sorry. California Ford Outdoors says, Coach Eli is using my favorite background. Great outdoors. Yeah, I just found this nice nature background. I guess it's some stream of water on the left and a tree there. And, I get these from Canva. I've got a license to use them, and I enhance them through Photoshop. And it looks pretty nice. Thank you for the compliment. How does the background look on your TV, baby?
It looks amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
You know the size of my TV, the quality. It looks really crystal clear and high definition. Looks great.
Yeah, you got like an 80-inch TV. It's a big-ass TV. Anyway, CFO says lawmakers are going to pass a new law for women to get equal pay as men. Well, here's the thing, CFO. Are there some companies and some men that are not paying women equally? There probably are, but the majority of companies out there are paying women what they're worth. They're paying women as equally as possible to men. I've always said this before, and I'll say it again. It's not about male versus female. It's about who's best qualified for the job, whether they are a male or a female, whether they are a man or a woman. So an example,
Right.
if the man is qualified for that job that he's, up against another woman with, okay, the man would get the job and get paid, let's say it's $100,000 per year, the man would get paid that. If the woman was more qualified than the man, okay, she'd get the job and get paid $100K, the same as the man, would get paid, right? This is where I think a lot of women, and I'm all for women having equal rights, but this is where I feel a lot of women take it a bit too far and complain because they're just not as qualified. Some women are just not as qualified as men in certain jobs. And so if you're going to look at it from an equal rights standpoint, as long as a woman is qualified to do the job at the same level or more qualified than the man, then she should get the job and get paid the same thing, right? And so,
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, and one more thing, baby, before you say something. Women are biologically built differently. So I'm not saying that women are not physically strong, and I'm not saying that women can't work out and look like a female version of Arnold Schwarzenegger and be strong, but women at a biological level, a normal biological level, were not designed to be as physically strong as men. Go ahead, babe. That's what we're dealing with. This is the truth. Go ahead.
Well, I want to use my recent retail experience, not mentioning the name.
Okay.
But every person that was hired, whether they were a man or a woman, was paid the same amount coming in. Now, the problem I had is that the previous assistant manager had disclosed what he was offered when he was promoted and what he was making when he left. It was a good significant $6 less than what I was offered when I got the promotion for assistant manager. And him and I were both just as qualified for it.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think you were more qualified because you lasted longer. This other person, you told me the story, he did some things that, he legitimately lost his job, but I feel you were more qualified because you lasted a lot longer and you basically devoted your life to that assistant store manager position at that company. Again, we're not going to mention it. Yeah. Let's be real careful so I don't have to. Let's be real careful. I'm just putting it out there to be real careful so I don't have to dump the delay. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, no, everybody knows I worked in retail, so I'm just going to say a store. You don't need to know what store it is, so just simmer down, people. I'm not going to give that up. But yeah, no, it was like, and I just kind of took it as what I could take because when I got the promotion, I did get a significant raise because I was just working as a key holder before that. So I had gotten like a $4 raise, and so I didn't want to push anything more at that point. But after being an assistant manager for another 2.5 years and not getting another raise or moving up to that level where that previous one was, is why I stood up for myself and is why I don't have a job with this establishment anymore. And it has nothing to do with you. You just gave me the encouragement to stand up for myself. And they didn't want it. So you know what? That's okay. It wasn't meant to be. Well, I have another purpose out here and I feel good about it.
Yeah, and baby, real quick, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to read a trolling comment I banned earlier because it makes perfect sense. But before I get to that, I have to read what GLM just put out there because it's rather funny. Let me just read a few more messages. Coach Eli is using my favorite background. I read that. CFO lawmakers. I already read that. It is perfect. The background reminds me of Angel's National Forest. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, CFO. CFO says, company that I work for is not paying their employees fairly. Only the higher ups get more money than the employees, which is why everyone in different departments is leaving. Yeah, and California Ford Outdoors. If you folks aren't being treated fairly, you do know that in the state of California, and I'm sure every state here in the U.S. has something similar, we have the Department of Fair Housing and Employment. And you can actually report your company for discrimination. This is basically gender discrimination is what it is. It's a part, women not being paid fairly is gender discrimination. Women being held back from promotions because they're a woman is gender discrimination. So if you've got, evidence and you want to report this to the Department of Fair Housing and Employment because you are in California, you can do that. And it is, I believe, the largest, civil rights department in California regarding, fair housing and employment. Basically, whenever there's discrimination involved, they get involved, or even if there's like a hostile work environment, stuff like that. And gender discrimination creates a huge hostile work environment. Real quick before we move forward, right, baby?
Yes.
Now, GLM says, my job doesn't pay me to be physically strong. They pay me to be mentally smart. Yes. You've said what you've done before, GLM. You do some counseling. And listen, I honestly, all jokes aside, no trolling, I respect your work. And she goes, they pay me to be mentally smart. And let me tell you, I have a huge brain. I also give good brain, but that's a different story. She's saying she gives good head, baby. That's what she's trying to say. She not only has... that's a, you know what, baby? I gotta say that was a good way to put it. That, you know what? I gotta give her a fucking big round of applause. That was fucking great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I gotta say this: a well-balanced woman is a woman that is paid for her, for her brain, that's mentally smart, and also gives good head. That has a good head and gives good head. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm Anyway, let's move forward. That was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
Can we say hi to Lewis?
Yeah. Hey, Lewis Fuller's in the house. Good afternoon, Eli and everyone else. Hey, Lewis, welcome to the show. So, baby, we're at 42 minutes. We're going to take a break in about 3 minutes or so. And then we're going to come back for another 30, 35 minutes or so. And, share some examples of what, drained you and me, during the, early stages, early months of our relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe share some situations.
I'll probably talk about my friends and what they've done and how that affected, and then moving into the YouTube spectrum and seeing how, literally, how my personal friends can also be trolls.
Yeah, and this is what I want to put out here, folks. Again, we are just putting this out in a general way. We're not here to point anyone out specifically or any group of people out specifically. We are just sharing this for.
Let me make it clear. I'm talking about a personal friend in my hometown. Nobody on YouTube. So.
Okay, but the court of public opinion on YouTube in general is and can be emotionally draining and create massive exhaustion, if you don't get a good grip on it and know how to handle it and ignore it, right?
Exactly. That's why I want to say how it started with my personal friend and now has led into that YouTube world.
Wow. Yes, and I just saw what California Ford Outdoors put out there, baby. You're going to see it in a little bit on the delay. But what are your thoughts about the first part of the show before we go to break? While I queue up some royalty-free YouTube music.
Oh, no, I think the show is going great. I'm always proud of what we're doing. I'm willing to share whatever I can to help people and just encourage people if they have any um, positive opinions to give back. We welcome that. But they do have to be positive. And yeah, that's why I'm sharing this, and I feel great.
Yeah, and you know what? I wanted to tackle one more thing before we go to the break. Um, there was a trolling comment I said I was going to mention. I'm gonna scroll up and mention this, and baby, let me, because I know I don't want to say it's going to trigger you, but I know it probably will. But can you just let me finish my
Oh
statement
yeah, I think I saw
uninterrupted?
that going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before you jump in, and I'll give you your say before we go to the break. There was a soccer account that came in here. Same dude that just, oh man, this dude just, ah. He created a soccer account called Eli Did It. I would, the lady say, if not for Eli, she would still have a job, contract with her. Sorry, you put contract. You meant to say contact with her kid, and wouldn't have been attracted on YouTube. Okay, here's the thing. Let me share my thoughts real quick. And we've addressed this many times, and we're going to address it again. And we're going to continue to tackle these things head on until, a small group of people out here on YouTube that just don't like us or maybe jealous of us or whatever, right? Just end up, I guess, magically disappearing. Here's the thing. My lady is here on the panel with me. She's not going anywhere. And we've said it before. We'll say it again. She was not happy with that place of employment and the way that she was being discriminated against. And there are things that we're not going to talk about at this point. Down the road, we will. But her and I and some other influential people, let's put it that way, are in progress of handling this situation regarding that. And when the time is right, we will publicly make you folks aware of that. At this point, you can, spin your own narrative on it, and that's not a big deal. Okay. And ultimately, whatever my lady decides to do, regardless of the advice I give her or not, that's her decision, and that's completely on her. And before I turn it back to you, babe, regarding your child, that issue has been ongoing for 7 to 10 years, right? And
Yeah.
all I've done is try to get my lady to understand that, hey, you're wasting a lot of time and energy on this. It's emotionally draining you, and it's not going to make what you're doing is not going to resolve the situation. Ultimately, it is her daughter's decision when she wants to come back into her life. That is her decision and no one else's. Okay. So, all I did was try to, encourage her to not let it get to her. And if she needs someone to talk about it, her and I can talk about it. Okay. Etc. And regarding the YouTube stuff, she wanted to come out here on her own. I didn't push her to come out here. She actually kind of, gave me a bit of a strong, friendly nudge. And that was all on her. Baby, before we go to the break, how much of what I said is true, and what do you want to add to it?
Everything is 100% true. As far as my job is considered, yes, I was happy for majority of the time I was there. I really loved my job. I dedicated my life. It wasn't towards the last 8 to 10 months that I started to feel like I wasn't going anywhere. And that's when I spoke with you and you gave me some advice. I took it. Now, the reason I'm not with this company. I don't believe has any true reason to why I address my DM, but it has to do with other employees and their jealousy of me. And so that's a whole nother story. And as far as what I'm doing right now, nobody knows if I'm working. I haven't shared if I've gotten a job or not. So the fact that I can do this during the day does not mean I'm not working later, does not mean I'm not doing anything on the side. So, take that as it is. As far as my daughter and family are concerned, you have no idea. I do still have contact with my family, and it's not completely broken. So, and Eli had nothing to do with this. This has been going on for probably, gosh, I would say the last 10 years when things got rough with that one abusive boyfriend. That's when my kids started to build walls. And
Right.
so, no, you have nothing to do with that. All you're doing is telling me that it's not completely my fault and that I am worth something and I shouldn't just run away from everything.
Right.
And that's all you've done for me.
And the more that you try to, get through to your daughter or, try to do certain things or whatever, right? All it does is create further emotional drain and exhaustion and puts you in a worse state of mind rather than saying, hey, let me cut my losses now and move forward to something more positive. And before we go to break real quick, babe, I will say this. I'm not going to get into great detail, but, if it even matters, we're so transparent, but if it even matters, my lady's financial situation is even better now than it was before. Let's just put it that way. We do not have to go into great detail. So that's that. So, there are people out here, on YouTube that are always going to come at us that way, baby. And, after a while addressing it over and over again, even in a cool, calm and collected way like we have, it's just going to get old. And that's that. But baby, it's time to step away for a quick break here. So I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage. We've got 18 in the box right now. Thank you to everyone for being here. Please like this stream here, whether you're live or on the replay. Please share it on your community tabs. Please also share it on social media and subscribe, bang the bell, select on notifications. If you haven't, here on this channel, Coach Eli, 2 Uncensored Live Streams, and also Nightbots sharing the link to my main channel every 7 minutes, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Subscribe there, bang the bell, and select the notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll be going live from a walk a few hours after this stream ends. So, baby, here you go backstage. And with that being said, stick around. Stick around. Stick around. Round. We'll be right
same. To walk like two out the
Then
door.
you have magic.
Then you have magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Humma, 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 humma. Yeah. Whiskey is the group. Humma, humma is the song from the YouTube audio library. Safe and free from copyright claims, demonetization, and any copyright issues. Yeah. Yeah, NC is Queen. I put the title of that song with the organ. You mentioned you wanted to know the title of the song with the organ. The first song I played when I went on break, and that is called Hear the Noise by John Dealey and the 41 Players. All right. Yeah. I feel real good. I feel phenomenal today. I hope you all feel good. And if you don't, hopefully I can radiate some positivity your way. All right. Let's get back down to business. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, live on Coach Eli 22222, The Deuce, Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams. The future home of most, if not all, of my live streams. This channel is getting very, very close to being monetized. Thanks to each and every one of you that have subscribed and helping us out with the watch time. That's all we need is the watch time, and we're getting very, very close. I'll let you folks know as we inch even closer on some further shows here. Today, we have been discussing, my lady and I talk about exhaustion / emotional drain and how to prevent it. One more time, my lady and I talk about exhaustion / emotional drain and how to prevent it. If you missed the first part of the show, go back and check out the replay. We discussed some very interesting things. We engaged the chat. They had some nice things to say, some great things to say. And so far, so good. And in just a second here, we're going to bring my lady back on and get into a little further detail on, how we can help you prevent emotional drain so you don't, reach complete exhaustion and it just wears you out to the point of where you can't do shit for days. We don't want you to ever get to that point. So stick around for that. But first, I also want to mention, if you'd like to make a donation to help support this channel, since it is not monetized yet, there is no super chat yet or super stickers yet. You would need to make a one-time donation via PayPal or Cash App. Nightbot is sharing my PayPal and Cash App links every 7 minutes. On PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/Coach Eli. And on Cash App, you can go to $, The Real Coach Eli. Donations are not required, but they are greatly appreciated. All right. Let's just get right back to it because we are going to be wrapping up this show no later than 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, and then probably around 4 o'clock Pacific, which is 7 Eastern. I'll be doing a brief Walking with Purpose stream. I'm only going to do about 3 miles today. It'll be about an hour and a half long. Because my lady and I are going to be getting together tonight. And also, there may be possibly another stream happening later tonight on the RJ Sandiford channel regarding his birthday. I know RJ's been sending some messages behind the scenes. Haven't had a chance to hear them yet. But we'll update you folks once we find out. Pay attention also to the community tabs on this channel here on Coach Eli 2 and also my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, for the very, very latest. All right, let's bring the lady of the hour back on. Welcome back, babe, to the show. Are you there?
Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. How was your break? You feel relaxed and ready to rock it?
I'm folding my laundry and packing my bag for tonight.
Oh, sounds phenomenal. Looking forward to that. So let's continue here, babe, and talk in greater detail, which is what I'm trying to say regarding emotional drain and exhaustion. Yeah. And If we go back to the beginning of our relationship almost 9 months ago, again, this is one of the best examples I can come up with. When you and I first met, there were so many things that we were. I'm hearing some feedback. Your phone
sorry.
is feeding back in.
My bad.
Were you not holding your phone, or was the volume too loud? Or
an app just came up and opened up like it was one of those trying to like restart your phone for an upgrade. So I had to just delay that really quick.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I understand how.
You had to kick that out of there really quick. Samsung, no thank you right now.
Okay, fantastic. All right, we are back to normal. So going back to the beginning of our relationship, there were a lot of things that we had to deal with all at once. You had the situation with your daughter and the situation with your mother, then the situation with your work, and then,
And
dealing
on top
with
of that, my health.
And then your health, at the same time, and then, my YouTube stuff and all of that. And it was just a bunch of things, coming at you and coming at us both all at once. And when all of that stuff comes at us all at once, even dealing with one of those situations, for example, the situation with your daughter alone, is extremely emotionally draining and creates exhaustion. That one particular situation alone can cause a tremendous amount of emotional drain. But when you've got multiple things coming at you at once that create emotional drain and exhaustion, how did that make you feel, babe? How were you feeling? How did your body feel? How much of a toll did that take, on you, not only physically, not only emotionally and mentally, but it also creates physical drain. Emotional drain creates physical drain too, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was hard. Before I met you, it was a struggle. I was going through a lot of things. I felt guilty for a lot of the actions that I had in the past. I felt guilty for my addictions, my the neglect that I've been told I've given to my children. And right before I got back out there, I literally gave myself a pep talk and I thought that was enough. But I still got out there and I found you. But you literally found me at the best time in my life. Because even if people are not accepting of our relationship on any aspect, whether it's on YouTube or anything else, I know that I was meant to be with you. My life has changed exponentially, and yes, it has been exhausting. But I've been dealing with this for years, long before you came. There's always been a situation where I've been pinned in the middle of people going back and forth and not knowing what to do because I don't want to hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And here, I meet this wonderful man and, we start talking and you allowed me to open up and share everything, which was so emotionally draining because I didn't
Oh, yeah.
expect that. I did not expect to open up all of those wounds and make it so relevant early on in our relationship.
But we had to.
But
It had to be. It had to
welcomed
be
me.
done. Go ahead.
Yeah. You welcomed me. And when I put all my faith in you and trust, that's when people that I know personally um, were lashing out. And I have a friend that
Let's
lives
not,
in
let,
my
let, let, let,
hometown.
let's make sure we don't mention names even by mistake, because I
I
know
know.
when you get into these emotional conversations, things will slip. So just be careful. I'll be paying attention. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
just trust me. I got this. Just trust me. I got it.
You got it,
So,
baby.
yes,
Go
a
ahead.
friend here in his hometown that I live, we have been friends for many years. She was literally the one that got me through the abusive relationship. Um, we shared a lot. And right at the beginning of this relationship, she wasn't really open to me getting into something, and I didn't understand that. Why would my friend not be happy? Um, and I know she wanted me to take some more time after my last relationship because everybody felt I needed to be single for a long time before I got back in.
Right.
Well, that is not my personality. So I wanted her just to respect the fact that I gave it so many months. And, I was excited when you and I first started talking. And I was actually flattered when you started talking about me on your streams. And I was like, oh my God, friends, he's talking about me. This is so great. Like, I feel so honored and like important. And when they watched it, they literally manipulated everything and saying how, oh, he's sharing private conversations you have. Well, if I've given him permission, then what's the problem? And then time goes on, and this friend of mine reaches out to another friend and does a background check on you and tells
Yeah.
me you're a horrible person, that you have all of these things in your criminal background, which isn't true because you've shown me, we pulled it up. But she was projecting out because she was losing me. And it was causing me so much emotional stress because I didn't want to let either one of the two happy people in my life down. I wanted to
Right.
be happy, but I wanted to be happy with both of them. And she was making me choose. That was incredibly draining. And I
Now,
think that
baby,
led to a lot of my anxiety and panic attacks.
and exhaustion from the emotional drain. Do you mind if I step on in here and add my thoughts to what you
Yes,
said so
please
far
do.
before I forget? I'm not trying to cut you off, but um, yeah. So this I've talked about this woman. Um, never mentioned her name, obviously, but I've talked about this friend of my lady's. Um, hold on a second here. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, I don't I don't need that. Somebody was commenting about, gun rights and stuff like that. This was involving, what I mentioned on, my streams yesterday. We don't need to be talking about that here. And this is not within the topic. Um, so this friend, I've talked about her on my, Walking with Purpose streams before, and I shared a lot of the story. If you folks go back and even if you have the time to do so, I would say the last 80 to 100 episodes have been since I met my lady. And, this is a longtime friend of my lady's. They've hung out with many friends, in their area, and they've confided in each other and they've emotionally supported each other as ladies should do, and do that at a normal level, right? Yeah, you're welcome, NC is Queen. You're very welcome about putting the song out there that you requested to know what the title was. But um, and while I can understand, there's always going to be a level of jealousy when, let's say, they're two lady friends and they're both single and they're spending a lot of time together. And then all of a sudden one of them finds a really good guy and the other one hasn't found that really good guy. There's always going to naturally be a level of jealousy. And that is okay and that is normal. What is not normal is what people do nowadays because of the internet and because we have information at our fingertips. People take it a bit too far. I mean, they're going to automatically project their insecurities, which to a certain degree is normal. But when you have to go as far as, okay, I'm going to run a background check on this guy, and I've got some people that can run extensive background checks and find out information that's not on a typical background check. Okay, I have no problem with anyone doing that. But she came out and told you that, there are 2 active restraining orders on me, which is absolutely not true. Even the people on YouTube know that, there were 2 instances that I was involved on the flip side regarding some restraining orders. One, I got on somebody out here on my own, and the other one, I collaborated with another content creator out here that had an issue with another person that I was having an issue with in the same way. So, when you came to me, babe, and told me this, I had already been very transparent with you. And I had even mentioned, this to you before that. But I said, again, I'll run a background check. You can run a background check. I'll give you the money to buy any background check. I have no active restraining orders on me at all, right? Now, I don't know if she was able to see that I was involved in these other, restraining orders that I either got on somebody else or was a third party on another one. Okay, I don't know if she saw that and spun her own narrative or just assumed they were on me, but she took it way out of context and she didn't even want to listen to, what you had to say and what you knew was the truth, right? Does that make sense so far?
She didn't even want to meet you. She didn't even want to meet you.
Yeah, she didn't even want to. Right. Now we're not gonna mention, where she's at or what she does or whatever, but I did end up meeting her one day. We went to her workplace and she was very, very cordial, which I respect and appreciate that. And honestly, she seemed like a decent person. But even the best of us at times, because of what we're going through in our personal lives, we have our own issues, right? Are gonna react and overreact because they wish that they could have what we have. And the truth of the matter is your friend or any other person can have whatever they want as long as they focus on themselves, become the best version of themselves they can be, and just be happy deep within, first and foremost, regardless of anything else going on. And this is the problem with a lot of people is that instead of saying, okay, I'm not happy about this part of my life. I'm single and I would rather not be single. I'm not happy with the job I have or the amount of money I'm making. If you're not happy with any aspect of your life, rather than projecting your insecurities on someone that you perceive to have what you want, how about, letting that shit go and saying, hey, I need to work on myself. I need to stop feeling jealous. I need to stop reacting this way because all I'm doing is setting myself further back. And not only has she done that, in that aspect, in those aspects, she's actually pretty much destroyed your friendship. Now, you have handled it in a very respectful and mature way because we've talked. It was bothering you at first. It was creating a ton of emotional drain, which was adding to other emotional drain you and I were both dealing with and creating more exhaustion for the both of us. So we talked about it. And how did you feel after we talked about it, babe? And how did you handle it? and where are you at with this person, to this day?
So I listened to what you had to say. I digested it and marinated on it for a while. I didn't completely cut this person out of my life, but one day she snapped and she decided to send me a text, just basically being a bully, saying, "Hey, we've been looking out for you. If you want to ignore us, that's your business, but we won't be a part of this. And don't come crying to us when this man eventually hurts you or drains you dry of everything." So I said, "Okay, I appreciate your concern. Um, but I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. I don't want it to affect this friendship, but I understand where you're coming from." And we haven't really spoken. I did send her a birthday message, text message on her birthday. She responded. I sent her a message on Mother's Day. She responded. But then when it came to my birthday, there was nothing back from her. So, I've done my part. I've been mature. I can squash it, but obviously she's not ready. So therefore, I am removing myself. And that way I don't get exhausted from that aspect of my life, because there are so many other ones that are exhausting me. And you gave me the strength to know sometimes you have to walk away from people you love when this is situations going on. And I know that now because that's exactly what my daughter's doing. I'm exhausting her. So, I get it now. I totally get it. Mind blown.
Yeah. I was just reading a comment here from another troll. And I will read the comment here and I will respond to it because this is what people don't understand. So you handled it in the most respectful, mature, and professional ways possible.
Yes,
You've
I
gotten
tried to.
you in the past. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but this is what happened. You in the past were reacting to things in the same way this woman reacted to you, right? So you understand and identify.
Yeah, I would react to rejection. Um, oh, that's funny.
Okay,
I just read it. Um,
yeah, I'll read it in a
anyways,
second. Just go ahead.
yeah, no, she is reacting like she feels she's being rejected by me when that's not the case. She knows that you and I do not live in the same area. She knows that in my last relationship, the man I was with was willing to go anywhere I wanted because he wanted me to just continue my life. So she felt safe. Now she's wondering, where are you going to take me? And why are you taking my best friend away? And now she's guarding herself.
Hmm.
And that's fine.
It's a
And
massive.
I'm
It's a
mature enough.
massive. It's a massive projection of insecurities from a woman,
Yes.
and women are naturally going to be more
And this
insecure
is a
than men.
woman. This is also so sorry.
Huh?
I want to just say this is also a woman who has a very hard time with committing in a relationship with a man. She has
And she
not
also
been in a committed,
go ahead.
I would say she has not been in a long-term committed relationship for the whole time that I've known her.
Yeah,
And that is close to a decade.
and that's because she has a lot of unresolved, traumatic issues that stem back to her childhood, the way she was raised. And until she works through that, she's never going to be able to really get what she wants because people are going to pick up on that and they're not going to put up with it. right? Or at least they're going to
Well, I
pick up
will
on it
correct
and
you.
try. Uh, okay.
I will
Okay.
correct you. It had nothing to do with her, the way she was raised. The trauma came from losing both of her parents before the age of 16. And the first guy that she trusted wound up being a dirtbag beta guy, knocked her up and left her,
Okay.
and is cheated was cheating the whole time. So she has
Okay.
serious trust issues because she didn't have those parents in a critical time when she was having her own child.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So basically, what I
So
was going
I
to
was
say a
doing a
second ago.
defense for her that way.
Okay. Now, baby, I'm not trying to be rude here, but I know when we get into these deep emotional conversations, you don't even realize that we're over talking each other. And I want this to just flow for the audience so they understand this. My apologies. I'm not trying to be rude, but I understand. So do you mind if I just share my thoughts about what you've said so far regarding this?
Please do go ahead.
Okay. So, like I was saying a second ago, she is projecting her insecurities in a very severe way. And like I said before, I'll say it again. Women at a normal and natural biological level are going to have insecurities all day, every day. That's why they're emotional. They respond to everything emotionally first. Women have insecurities and uncertainties all the time, right? That's how you are biologically made to be. In this case, this is well above and beyond the normal level of a woman being insecure. So again, women can come out and say, well, we're just insecure and this and that, and that's just how we are. No, even in this situation, this is not normal behavior for a grown ass, mature woman or a supposed grown ass mature woman to behave. And that's all I'm saying here. So I basically, in this situation and other situations, I was trying to share with my lady, hey, there's really nothing you can do about this. And yeah, it's your choice who you want to hang out with or spend most of your time with, babe. But anyone that's in a great relationship, whether they're on good terms with their friends or not, or good terms with their family or not, are always going to focus the majority of their energy and spend most of their time with that significant other and confide in that significant other. And this is the thing. This is exactly what your friend wants and any other normal woman wants. And when they see you getting what they want, it makes them extremely jealous. And then it rehashes, it triggers that emotional trauma. And then they try to find any and every way possible to destroy that so they can kick you back down to their level so they can feel better, right? I mean, this woman literally was scouring the internet trying to find anything and everything about me. And again, baby, when you made me aware of this, did I get mad at you or get triggered at all? Was I upset at all? How did I handle it, baby? And be
No,
honest
we
with the
laughed.
audience.
We laughed about it.
Well,
I was more upset that you laughed.
I'm asking you how I handled it because it is important how I show up in our relationship all the time.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is like you laughed it off like it's no big deal, baby. You want to sit down at the computer and look at my background? We'll do it. I'll show you anything. And I'm like, no, you've already shown and told me everything. I'm just telling you what she did and that how it hurt me as a friend. But yeah, no, you handled it great. And just basically laughed it off and didn't engage.
Right. Right. So let me do this. That's one instance here. It's we've got about 21 more minutes to go before we need to wrap this up. We're at 1 hour and 33 minutes on the stream here. Let me address this trolling comment in the chat. Just to be real honest about it and be transparent about it. It's by a sock account w.h.o.farted. Who farted? Well, first of all, I mean, that's a trolling account right there. Second of all, they said, You know, for a channel claiming to be uncensored, there sure is a lot of censoring. I'm not sure you even understand the meaning of the word at all. Can you really not handle anyone challenges to your opinions? Sir, I pretty much know who you are. And if you're not who I think you are, it doesn't matter. Number one, you're a troll. And number two, you're probably very unhappy and miserable within yourself. And you're spending your time, trolling a channel that's just trying to create positive content. And trolls typically like to intentionally try to knock the show off its center, right? And so this channel is uncensored, meaning that people can say what they want to say as long as it's within YouTube's terms of service. And I also allow people to cuss a little bit more on this channel, which is not against YouTube's terms of service as long as you're cussing or swearing in the right context, okay? So that's what I mean by this channel being uncensored. If I want to censor anyone that comes in here and tries to derail what the purpose of this channel is or any other channel I run, that's at my discretion and my prerogative. If you want to lessen the chance of you being removed, then you come in here on a normal account name. It doesn't have to be your name because I know you don't want to dox yourself, right? But come in on a normal account, not one that says who farted. Okay, I mean, how am I supposed to respect that, right? And speak about things in a constructive and respectful way. Even if you disagree, you can respectfully disagree. I'm not here to debate anyone or have an attack with anyone. I'm here to discuss things in a civil manner, in the most respectful, mature, and professional ways possible. And that's all I wanted to say about that. If you want to share your thoughts, babe, let me know before we move forward.
I'll mention one thing. Just like I was saying earlier, this is a stream for positivity, great feedback, and to help individuals. So, and especially if you come in off topic, we are going to remove that because that's not what we're discussing today. So we don't want to get sidetracked from the purpose we have for our show. So don't get offended to that. If you want to come in on different things, then let us know privately and we can create a stream on that. And we can have a discussion, not a debate. And just respect that everybody has their own opinions. Nobody is right. Nobody is wrong. That is the beauty of this country, is that we have our freedom to have our own opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we have a show that is on depression, keep the chat to that discussion. If it's on exhaustion, do the same thing. If it happens to be on anything else, keep it to that subject. And that's really all our purpose is here. We're not feeding into drama. We're not going to engage in any of the drama anymore. That's the point of this show. It's exhausting. So we're just removing ourselves from the drama sphere, and we just want to share our positivity. So unless you have anything positive to say, then you're not welcome. Is that okay, babe?
Yeah, I'm going to address one more thing here because, this is just ridiculous. And we talk about anything and everything here, right? So, and this is my super troll. He's coming in here and he's coming in on accounts where he, in the profile picture, he's putting out a nude picture of, this one, content creator out here that I no longer am affiliated with. And here's the thing. This is exactly why, if you look at the screen, there's nothing that's going to come up on the screen at all regarding that. And so I don't know what you're trying to do, sir. It's just not going to work. And you're just really wasting your time. And it's just a really, really stupid thing. So, yeah, moderators, just pay attention here and just continue to continue to, ban any accounts regarding that.
And quite honestly, it's the saddest thing I've ever encountered in my whole life. This is like the most disturbing, asinine, like childish, juvenile thing I've ever encountered. I'm sorry. And I literally have raised 2 children and we're in their classrooms every day. And none
Mhm.
of these children have acted nearly as childish or relentless or even bullyish as this person. This is, grow up, dude. Find a hobby, a different one, because this isn't healthy. And if you are who I think you are, you should know that.
Yeah, no, it's him. It's absolutely him. And go ahead, babe. Continue talking. I just need to take care of something real quick here.
Yes, no. So I just wanted to like then turn this over to now. Okay, so I had my friend giving me this problem. I had an ongoing issue with my daughter that had happened months before you and I even met. Um, her and we were, I wouldn't say we were estranged, but we had a very minimal contact with each other. We still spoke on the phone. Um, and honest to God, you know, she just, she was really scared because she's seen how I've gotten duped by 2 other guys. And she didn't want to give you the time of day. And my parents didn't want to do the same thing because they didn't want to get attached the same way you didn't want to get attached. And that put me in the middle because when you were ready, like they were ready earlier than you, but you weren't. And so then when you were, they're saying, well, time's out. So now I'm going through this whole, God, I love my family and they do still love me and support me, but it still causes emotional stress and it drains me at times.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean that did trickle into that, which then with all of this with the friend, now with my family, I'm taking this all in and what am I doing? Regurgitating all of this onto you. Which with your own life, with your family, um that's so funny. I just saw that one. Um, but anyways, you have your own things. You have your family, you have your business, you have other things that you're attending to in life that's nobody's business. And then you took this on as well. And it was emotionally draining for you.
Hmm.
And thank God now we've gotten to a point where it's not totally affecting yours and my relationship. We do understand that it's still exhausting, but we understand we're not exhausting each other. And we have that
Right.
respect and that love and that honesty. So if I say, babe, um, I can't get on today, uh, I'm too tired, you're like, okay, like it's not an okay or it's not a problem. Gosh, you're being quick. I can't even read them. They're going hard.
Yeah, just go,
It's
baby.
funny
Keep
though.
keep 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 going. Keep going with the show.
Yeah.
Just
Anyways,
keep going with
so
the show.
yes, that was another contributing factor to the beginning of our relationship. And I think both of those things and me being with you and knowing how other people felt also caused those panic attacks because I was underlying feeling like I was betraying people that I loved, and only for my own happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was scared I was going to lose all these people, but what I had to realize is that if they really love me, they're gonna they're gonna be there for me, and they're gonna watch the happiness that I have. Sorry, I'm getting a little dry. Let me take a drink of
Mm-hmm.
Monster, so y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, that's it. And then it trickled off, and it probably led to a lot of insecurities at my job, which led me to kind of self-destruct there. I mean, there was a lot going on. I had a lot of emotional overload. I literally started having panic attacks at work. I had to leave work one day because of a panic attack. All of this was so overwhelming. And it wasn't until I was able to just take 2 to 3 days by myself in my house with my dogs, go for walks, watch my shows, and relax that I was able to pull myself back out of that exhaustion and that draining feeling I felt from the emotions.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that, baby. I completely understand that. Give me just 1 second here. I'm just taking care of something real quick. Just 1 second. Yeah, 1 second here. Okay. All right, we're fine. Yeah, it created a large amount of unnecessary emotional drain, which in
I'm not.
turn, what's that?
Sorry. Sorry. That was a reaction, but I'll stop.
Baby, you need to stop reacting to this one guy
But I'm not
because
slurring my words. That's the funniest thing.
listen, let the moderators in the chat handle that, because this is what this guy feeds off of. And this is unnecessary emotional drain right now that's going to exhaust us, right?
Oh yeah.
Just
Too
let him
too
do
drunk
his
to
thing.
speak.
Here is the thing. Okay, there you go again. This is happening live on the air right now. And so we're going to talk about it. I'm going to address this with you live on the air.
Yeah. I know it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not getting hurt feelings. It's
Okay.
just, it's getting ridiculous, people. Like, you want to come at me that way, fine. But I'm not slurring my words. I'm not drinking. You can literally come to my house right now. It's just, I'm talking and that's how I am. You don't know what I have going on in my life. So all I have to say is, this is getting ridiculous. You really are not affecting me and affecting anything else I do. But you know what? Grow the fuck up, people. Period. Done.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. Give me just 1 second here. Give me just 1 second here, because I will say this. I mean, I'll just say this person in the chat is going through great lengths to basically try to bypass all my spam filter and stuff like that. And that's okay. That's okay. It just
Yeah, like I
shows
say, if
how
you feel boring, why are you watching? Move on. Get a life and do something else. If you feel we're boring,
because
Find something
listen,
else to watch.
listen to the way you're reacting right now. This is exactly what he wants, and you, babe, are reacting to it. And this is exactly. I'm
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of glad this is
reacting
happening.
to
I'm kind of. I'm kind of glad this is happening. At the same time, I'm not, because this is what's creating emotional drain and exhaustion right now. This is exactly what he's
exactly.
trying to do. And but I'm trying to tell you live on the air, babe,
You're
respectfully.
you're proving my point.
Right. And here is the difference between men and women. No, women are going to have these reactions no matter how strong they are at times. You've become a lot stronger and you've learned to let most of it go. But sometimes it's still going to trigger you. And that's what this troll feeds off of. Let me mention this. There's a woman in the chat,
All I have to
Angel's
say
Asylum.
is,
Go ahead. Go ahead, babe, because I can't get a word in on my own show. I don't mean to be rude. I know right now your emotions are being triggered. And we have no
the last
issues.
thing I'm going to say about this to this one person. This one person. What did you take an oath of? Is to do no harm. So why don't you go back and remember that? Because what you're doing does not follow the oath you took, and maybe that's why you no longer have that. Period. Done. Go on.
Okay, let me address Angel's Asylum in the chat. This is actually my real life girlfriend. Obviously, we haven't put her name out there or anything and shown her face because you know what these people would do. It's just really comical. Yeah, it is. It is my lady. And welcome to the show, Angels Asylum. I don't think you were ever blocked here on Coach Eli too. I think you may still be blocked on my main channel. And what I'm going to do is I will unblock you on my main channel if you're still blocked. Once this show ends here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to your channel right now. And I'm just going to go to the About section. And it's actually you with 295 subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, and just to make sure it is actually you, Angels Asylum, the real you. Where did I first meet you at? Whose channel did I first meet you at? Let us know. There's a bit of a delay, so it'll be a while before she responds to that. Okay. I will let the moderators handle that. You know, this is just, you know, if I wasn't a life coach,
It's actually
I wouldn't.
comical. I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah, here's the thing. If Lewis, you hid GLM by mistake, and now you deleted all her messages.
Oh, no.
So now, yeah, he unhid her, but it actually deleted all her messages. So on the live stream chat replay, they won't show, but they will show on the screen. Also, I do not obviously have programmed. I programmed Nightbot to not Nightbot. I programmed my chat to not show the channel icon or picture on the screen, and I've also programmed Nightbot and the block words aspect of YouTube to not allow any images or any emojis past a certain point. What are you, baby? What are you?
Oh, I just lost all of GLM's messages. I didn't get to catch up on them before they disappeared.
Well, she's going to be back, and it's okay. It's not a problem at all.
I know.
But
I did the
anyway,
same thing with CFO. It was my mistake. So it happens. I understand. I did
anyway,
the same thing.
right. And anyway, here's the thing. Let me see. GLM says Angel is never this nice to me. She usually just laughs at me. That's her real account there. We met on Dreams panel. You were telling me about coffee enemas. Remember, and I started laughing because I thought you were trying to troll me. No, it's the real her. It's the real her. Yeah. Wow. I will tell you this. This is what's funny. Here's the funny thing, babe. We're getting watch time. All this dude is doing is getting more people to come here and give me more watch time, right? And I'm not triggered. I'm laughing at this, right? Literally, this dude had to prepare for this. He prepared literally 50 sock accounts or 100 sock accounts and carefully crafted them to bypass my spam filter, right? So this is the funny thing. In order to do that, he had to literally sit there for hours. He took hours of his day to prepare for this attack on Coach Eli 2 uncensored live streams, right? And the example I'm trying to share here, baby, is that even the trolls doing this to your chat, and honestly, if I didn't have Nightbot and the block words list, this chat would be unbearable. That's how badly I'd be getting trolled, right? And so, and honestly, once these accounts get burned, they can't be used again, and it's harder to create accounts now. So, this is a targeted attack that's planned for a whole day. Like he probably spent half a day, preparing for this. See, Eli even likes these sock account names. It's impressive. No, actually, I don't. I don't. And it's just funny because we're just going to rack up the watch time, at this expense, and it's just an extra view, and that's all good. But anyway, give me a second here. Let's see. We are at 1 hour and 56 minutes. We're at 2:03. We gotta start wrapping this up, babe. So,
all right.
What are your final thoughts regarding emotional drain? And
emotional. Okay,
and exhaustion.
Drain.
And exhaustion.
Okay, I'm so sorry for the interruption.
It's okay.
What people have to realize is that emotional drain can come from any part of your life. It's not just your relationship, your job, your friendships. Sorry. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second.
You gotta stop looking at the TV, baby.
I know.
Baby. I'm not mad, baby. I'm gonna put you in a timeout. That was a joke. I'm joking.
I know. It's so funny.
Baby. Can you please give me a second? Today, you're so energetic, and I'm not trying.
This is my favorite day.
I know she's excited because she gets to see me, and baby, you're unintentionally over talking me, and it's hard to get a word in, and this is what these trolls want. And the bottom line is, I understand you. I'm not mad. And when I say I put you in a timeout, it's a joke because it's just a joke. We truly love each other, but you just got to stop looking at the screen and avoid these trolling messages. We have a very serious natured message to put out here.
Yes.
And if we continue to allow this dude to come in every now and then and do what he's doing today, then it's going to derail what we're trying to accomplish. And he's, again, what are they doing? They're trying to get to you to get to me because you're a lady and you're going to get emotional and you've gotten a lot better at handling this, but you're not quite there yet, but you're going to get there. And this is a good example. This is a perfect example of this happening, especially live on the air in real time, because people can learn from this, right? She is educated.
It does like go with our subject here, the emotional exhaustion we get, because people, we're not out here for people to bully us. When I decided to put out my story and my struggles and how I've overcome them and what I'm doing today, was not an open book for people to just come back and put me down. And I'm starting to overcome that, because I know anybody that comes up here and says anything, they're projecting their own insecurities. If you want to say, I wake up and have a beer, you know what? Say it. You don't know the truth. Until anybody lives in my shoes, you shouldn't even speak of my life. I shared my past, and now I'm just trying to get better and live a healthier, positive life and share my experiences and hopefully help somebody else out there. I really, yes, I have a raspy voice. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. I've had it for the last 15 years. As I've gotten older, it's gotten raspier. That does not mean that I'm drunk. Sometimes I stumble over my words because this is very new to me as far as public speaking. I can look at somebody face to face and have a conversation, but when I'm doing this and my brain is going and we're both bouncing ideas, I do fumble over my words. I'll admit it. That's just who I am. I'm starting to learn. So if you guys don't have patience, then that's fine. And if we're boring, then move on. And that's all I have to say, and thank you for everybody who is here being supportive. GLM, you're great. CFO, Lewis. I don't really know Angel, but I'm going to go ahead and throw you in there because you're here. So, that's pretty much it. I want to thank all the support and just know I'm okay and I'm not really fazed by this. It just gets me fired up and I just want to talk as much shit back. But no, they're not hurting me. They're not pulling me down. I just want to tell them they're as stupid as they are. So that's it. And yeah, back to you, my love.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing before I put you backstage and end the show. Solo, babe, you can watch the last part of the show on your TV because the delay will allow you to jump off and, you'll be able to leave off where you left off here. But yeah, I'm just like, this dude is actually creating these names on the fly. I'm just laughing at it because he knows that I continue to block certain words with Nightbot and my block words list. So he's trying to create different ways to phonetically pronounce the name he's trying to put out there. And I mean, man, dude, you need some serious help, man. Either that or you're just so bored. Maybe you've got, ungodly amounts of cash coming out of your ass that you don't need to work. And this just kills the time until you get to spend time with your woman or whoever you hang out with. I'm just like, wow. I mean, it's just hilarious. Let me read a few more comments before you go, babe. GLM says actually it takes about 5 minutes to make 10 sock accounts. At least that has been my experience. Not sure who this troll is. T taught me how to do it. Hopefully T didn't show this troll his tricks. Well, there are extra verification methods. And you can actually find certain sites that allow you to verify Google accounts, because after you create a few sock accounts, it asks you to verify with a phone number. And so, there are methods around that, but it takes a lot of time to do that. Now, you might be able to create 5 or 10 sock accounts, but if you want to create 100, there are many things you have to do to bypass Google's filters. Google has made it more difficult to create accounts. The super trolls are always going to find the workaround. The thing is, the more Google cracks down on this, the longer it's going to take to create the same amount of accounts that it used to take minutes to do so in the past. So that is that. Anyways. All right, babe. I'm going to put you backstage unless you have anything else to say there.
All I want to say back to Angels there is that, I get that. But my voice is literally like this from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. It doesn't matter what I do. And honestly, if I have shots, my voice gets better because it soothes my vocal cords. It's syrupy, but I don't do that. I usually just go back to my my medication that I need to soothe those vocal cords after talking too long.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a 2-hour stream, my voice is getting it's starting to get worn out. And that's all it is. This is something I've been going through for a majority of my adult life. Right. And I accept it. I actually like my voice. I actually think the raspiness is really kind of sexy. And, I embrace who I am and I love it. So has nothing to do with the drinking. It's just a matter of this is me. Accept me, baby, or don't.
Baby, thank you for clearing it up to the people that it matters to, and for the ones that it doesn't matter to, hey, whatever, right? All right, baby, we got to really wrap this up. I need a few minutes here.
All right, I love you.
I love you too, babe. I will talk with you in a little bit before I go on my walking stream in a few hours. All right, babe. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to put you backstage. All right. So let me just read a few more comments here. GLM says it's not difficult either. There are very easy ways around it. I doubt he spent all day making soccer accounts. Just my opinion. Anyway, he does it. It takes at least a little bit longer to create these accounts. Maybe he has a method where he does it in bulk or something, but there are more verification methods and more frequent verification methods to create soccer accounts, even if you have a VPN. Trust me, I've tested everything out. Okay, I'm not a troll, but I've tested everything out. Let's see. Babe Mem, it's better to ignore the trolls than reason with them. I agree. That's what I was trying to tell her, and I think she'll understand that by the next time, and I think she already understood it. It was just a great example that it happened during this show, not to let it emotionally drain you and exhaust you to the point of where you can't run your show anymore or do anything else the rest of that day. Angels Asylum, hey, I think you sound hot with a raspy voice. Don't give it another thought, girlie. You do you and ignore everything else. Okay. And that's that. What I want to say here about what I want to say to wrap things up here, which is what I'm trying to say regarding emotional drain and exhaustion and how to overcome it. The best thing to do is just to not let people get to you. Regardless of whoever comes at you, whether it's a family member, a friend, whether it's somebody on social media such as YouTube, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you got to get to the point, folks, deep within yourselves that you love yourselves so much that, no one else's opinion of you is going to matter unless it really does matter, right? And so, the only opinions of myself that matter to me are my own, and people that address me in a respectful way. That doesn't mean you have to agree with me, but it all depends on, or it depends, what matters, which is what I'm trying to say, is how you approach me, right? And how you treat me, whether you agree or disagree, right? If you get to the point of where you become so emotionally strong, whether you're a man or a woman, to the point of where no one else's opinions of yourself matter, then none of this will faze you. It will prevent you from reacting or overreacting to the point of where, you're lashing out so much energy, creating that emotional drain, and then it exhausts you and practically ruins the rest of your day. And in many cases, if you have a lot of different aspects of your life coming at you that are emotionally draining you, for example, maybe your family's coming at you, maybe your significant others coming at you at the same time, your friends are coming at you at the same time, then, YouTube trolls are coming at you. Those are 4 different things that can create emotional drain. And it can get extremely overwhelming if you let all those things get to you, to the point of where you could drain yourself for several days or even a week if you allow all these things to get to you at once. My lady was dealing with so much emotional drain last week between all aspects of her life and what was happening on YouTube at that point, okay, to the point of where it basically knocked her down or knocked her out for 2 days. She was fine, but she was worn out to the point of where we couldn't do any streams. She stayed home. She was sleeping most of the day. And that's what happens if you allow these things to get to you. If you allow other people's projections or attacks to get to you emotionally and you get really triggered, it will drain you more than anything and not only destroy the rest of your day, but maybe the next few days or even the rest of the week. It'll take you a lot longer to recover from it. It'll create such a deep level of exhaustion that you're not going to feel like doing anything. Eli's lady is doing great, says Lewis Fuller. Thank you, Lewis. All right, folks. We are at 2 hours and 11 minutes. I've got to wrap this up. I'll be doing a Walking with Purpose stream on my main channel at what time am I going to do it at? 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And then we may end up doing a brief stream on RJ Sandifer's channel tonight at some point. And then taking the day off tomorrow. And then Sunday night, we're going to be doing a stream regarding spam and spammers and scammers and all that type of stuff, the spam and deceptive practices, etc. My lady and I will be on the panel here on Coach Eli 2 with Mandy C tentatively at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We'll keep you posted through our community tabs here on Coach Eli 2 and my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. With that being said, have yourselves a good one and see you later. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.